Man. I sigh and lean against a sign. I searched until the sun set, and the only thing I figured out was how useless I am. That's pretty true. The wound on my left shoulder is throbbing with pain. I don't know if it's opened up or if the bandage is getting loose. Either way, I can't spend too much time on the search. It'll end up like last night if I can't find a clue. Man, where could she be? I recall when I parted ways with her last night. It's already been a day since she told me to run to the church since I can't fight without Saber. It's okay, Shiro. Just use that kendo sword and, fight the servants with that. You don't need Saber. Oh, the church. There's a clue. I thought about it when I started the search this morning. The supervisor of the Holy Grail War. The priest at the church might know where Tosca is. It's irritating to go ask that priest for help, but this is no time to be hung up on that sort of thing. No, I shouldn't go see that priest, regardless of my feelings. He's a priest, but Kuramine Kira is not a man that should be approached. I don't want to ask him for advice, but he's the only one I can count on right now. I'll consult him just this once. That shouldn't be a problem. I convince myself and move my aching body. It's almost 7 o'clock. Yep, let's approach the corrupt, evil priest and ask him for assistance. 20 minutes walk from the station. The church is in the suburbs, away from the noisy town. It's been 9 days since I last went up this hill, but I'm going there pretty often now, considering that I've never went there before. To be honest, I don't like the church. Maybe that building itself is a forbidden place I shouldn't approach. The fire 10 years ago. The church took care of all the orphans at that time, so it reminds me of that incident whether I like it or not. I get up the hill and come out into the clearing. I get a sudden headache. It's not because of the wound on my shoulder. The wound is causing me to have a fever, but it shouldn't give me such a headache. Just looking at the church itself is evil. My temples are hurting. I lose myself and feel a chill, as if my body is splitting in two like a shedding insect. This is weird. I bear the headache and start running. It's because of the hunch I've had since yesterday. The conviction that Tosca is in Shinto. That sensation is assailing me now and causing the headache. Then, something should be going on in there. There are bloodstains on the floor. The blood continues to the door at the back of the church. No, that's wrong. It looks more like it came out from that door. I'm curious about it, but now's not the time. If there's blood, it means someone's hurt. And this much too. Their life must be in danger. I feel a sharp pain in my head. Dull heaviness settles in my body. I ignore it, take out the wooden sword, and start walking quietly. Tosca, are you there? Nobody replies. The air is tense. I feel like the windows here will break if I'm too loud. I follow the trail of blood. It's coming from in between the columns. A dark stairway that you would normally not notice. A descending stairway? This place has a basement? Oh, it has much more than that, Shiro. This is a church, so could it be a mausoleum? I don't have enough energy to just stand here and think. I cautiously step into the darkness. I descend into the dark. I see a faint light at the end of the stairs. Breathing quietly, I make my way down using that faint light. The narrow corridor ends and I come out into an open space. It's a big stone room. The stairs follow the wall down to the catacombs. There is an open space at the end of the stairs. And there's the person I've been looking for, Tosca Rin. Tosca confronts the enemy before her with Archer's protection. In front of her, in front of the altar, are two people. It does not even need to be said who they are. The magus in a purple robe, Castor, and her master, Kazuki. And on the altar behind them is Saber, who is looking down and panting painfully. Or suggestively. Probably both. My heart jumps. My pulse is beating faster than normal. The situation is obvious. Two pairs of master and servant are confronting each other in the temple about 5 meters below me. They haven't noticed me standing above them, as they're too absorbed. Tosca and Castor are looking for an opening to strike. It would be suicidal for them to look up in a situation like this. My heart beats even faster. My head pounds and my shoulder aches as if seared by a hot iron. I can't keep my presence hidden forever in this state. Castor or Kazuki will notice me if they happen to look up just a bit. Oh, shit. Well, we're gonna go with the stupid decision here, because that's something Shiro would normally do. I'll go out. I can give Tosca an opening now. Not yet. I can't act so recklessly. Fuck. I don't remember when exactly he jumped out in the anime. I think it was like after they started to fight. Okay, so I chose the first option, and I think that was a bad idea. I'm not sure, like, I didn't get to it, but I believe that was leading me to a dead end, because I don't remember some of the things that happened after I chose this option happened in the anime, so I'm gonna go with the second one. Can't act recklessly yet. I don't know, because it's kind of weird with that choice, because it seems like both of those would lead to something bad. Like, if he waited, then there would be the chance they'd spot him and kill him. But if he went out, I guess you have to weigh those two. Like, going out would probably be more dangerous than waiting. I breathe quietly. I push my body against the wall and watch while keeping myself hidden. It's still too early. It'll be too reckless to charge in when I don't understand the situation yet. Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know. I picked the first option because it seems like something Shiro would usually do. He'd just do something really stupid. And more than anything, I don't have much power. The strengthened wooden sword is my only weapon. It's foolish to confront Castor without a plan. No, that's wrong. I do have another weapon. No way. What am I thinking? I can't use projection. Half my body became numb after I used it once. Archer told me that it'll end up worse if I do it again. Using magic beyond your capabilities can destroy you. If I use projection magic in this state, it'll be natural for me to die on the spot. The chance will come. For now. I'll bide my time and wait for my chance. Okay, yeah, that's right. I remember now. He listened in the anime before he jumped out to try to defend Tosca. I see. So you killed Kirei. Her voice only holds murderous intent. Tosca is glaring at the enemy with a coldness I've never seen before. Yes. He didn't seem like someone that would obediently hand me the Holy Grail. I also didn't want him to interrupt later on. Well, I'm not gonna say anything about that. In contrast, Castor is calm and composed, like she usually is. The Moccasin Purple cheerfully admits the murder of the priest. A gritting sound echoes through the temple. He was more like a devil than a saint to me, but that priest was a fellow apprentice to Tosca. And he was killed. Even though he was involved and might have been prepared for it, it's not something she can take in readily. I see. That's fine. Kirei should have been prepared for such a thing. But Castor, did you check his corpse? Am I mistaken, or has she suppressed all her anger? Tosca seems like she's not angry at all. Castor evades Tosca's question. What are you saying? Such a thing should not concern you. No, it doesn't. But it's not something totally unrelated to me. I just wanted to make sure, since I'll be relieved if he's really dead. What does that mean, little lady? It means what it means, Castor. He's not one to die so easily. I just thought he might be alive since you didn't check his corpse. Or the corpse, whatever. Same thing. Damn, you're useless. If you attack Kirei, make sure you killed him. Oh well. I have something to do now, so let's finish this quickly, Castor. We can fight freely, as there are no hostages this time. A signal to start. Tosca or Castor? If either one of them takes a step forward, this temple will be filled with magic. You talk big. Do you think you can beat me in this situation? It depends on how I do it. Fortunately, it seems Saber has yet to come under your control, so the conditions are the same. And I also know about Kazuki-sensei. Saber was surprised, but he's no threat to Archer if he knows his attacks beforehand. Tosca points to Archer while staring at Castor. You heard it, Archer. I'll fight Castor. She might break your contract if you get too close to her. So I will be fighting that man. I do not mind, but do you know that a Magus cannot beat Castor, Rin? Don't worry. I wouldn't say anything if I didn't have a chance of victory. I'll surely defeat Castor here. If I do that, Saber will be freed and Shiro can make a contract with her again, right? Tosca tenses for action. I feel pressure as if she's a tiger about to attack its prey. And as if to stop her. That is only in theory. It is difficult to defeat her here. She is a master when it comes to running away. She is a woman that will kill her own brother to escape. Archer steps in between Tosca and Castor. Archer? What are you doing? He does not answer Tosca. The knight in red silently confronts Castor. I think I saw something like this before. I killed my own brother? You talk like you know about me. Do you know my true identity? I hear human-shaped creatures made of dragon's teeth are magic used by the king of Kolix. Kolix? Or I'll just say Kolix. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I hear that the daughter, Medea, was framed as an excellent witch. Or was famed, not framed, famed. The air freezes. Castor's composure disappears and enmity like fire is directed at Archer. I see. Then you should know which one of us is at an advantage now, right? Archer does not answer. His expression is like stone, as if accepting everything that is happening. Resistance is futile, Archer. You won't be able to take back Saber no matter who you may be. She still has a will to resist me, but that should not last for another day. And I can make her into my puppet now if I use my command spell. I barely stop myself from moving. Not yet. Even if that's true, now's not the time. If I want to save Saber, I can't jump out now. Saber should be able to stand it even if you use the command spell. I don't know if it'll be a minute or two. But we should be able to beat you in that time. But Archer, do you really think so? Do you think you can defeat me here like that girl thinks? Castor and Tosca are glaring at each other. For some reason that wasn't voice acted, that's weird. Standing in between them. That is impossible. Even if we attack you, all we would manage is to take half your powers at most. What awaits us after that is a disadvantageous situation, where we would be fighting both you and Saber. Yeah, and that happens in the dead end that I was about to get. Archer does not meet his master's expectations. Archer, that's... You should know, Rin. We cannot win if that happens. Saber's abilities were restricted because of her incomplete master. As she does not have that restriction anymore, she is the strongest servant now. Only Berserker should be able to match her. He speaks plainly. Tosca stares at Archer in astonishment, and even Castor is bewildered by the sensible enemy. But it's different for me. I've experienced something like this before. Could he? I get a bad feeling. Back at the Ryudo temple, when Castor proposed that he join her, what did he say to her when he refused? Don't, I murmur without realizing. Don't do it. It's not because the situation will get worse. You're Tosca's partner, so don't do it. If you do such a thing, I don't know what kind of an expression she'll make. Archer steps forward. He is empty-handed as usual. He steps forward without enmity or intent to kill. Don't curse me, kid. There's nothing else I can do in a situation like this, right? He looks and smiles at me as if he knew I was watching the whole time. Well, Caster, let me ask you, do you have room for one more servant? Archer, you... Caster laughs out loud while Archer stands tall before her. And Tosca does not look away. She should break down at a time like this, but she keeps a straight face and endures it, gritting her teeth. Betrayal! Of course, I have enough capacity to accept all the servants. You know where I get my magical energy, right? Magical energy that allows her to maintain 7 servants. It is the lives of all the people in this town. Then it should be easy. I shall accept that earlier offer you made, Caster. He holds out his hand to Caster in spite of that. I feel like I'll go crazy. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosca, and for approving of Caster and joining Caster's side. A hero. For this hero who embodies Imyashiro's ideals to do such a thing. Even though you refused back then, you're pretty unfaithful. The situation has changed. If Saber is on your side now, you are likely to win the Holy Grail War. It is natural to want to be on the winning side, right? Archer walks towards Caster defenselessly. That means he's abandoning Tosca. Tosca does not stop him and stares at her enemy. I know that figure. The red classroom. She tried to hide her trembling legs and act like the same old Tosca Rin, even with the collapsed students in front of her. That's her strength and weakness. She tries to act firm in any situation, so everybody around her gets the wrong idea that she's a strong person. Use your contract breaker. Rin still has her command spell. I might attack you if you don't hurry. His tone doesn't change. He betrayed Tosca in front of her, but he's still acting normally. She must be on guard against such a guy. Caster takes out the distorted dagger, but she does not pierce Archer with it. What? You'll obtain a loyal subordinate without trouble. Why do you need to hesitate? Really? I do not trust betrayers. If your words are correct, then shouldn't Saber be enough for me? You don't trust betrayers, huh? I certainly might betray you. I'm going to your side for my own benefit. I did not approve of you as my master, but... The command spell is there to punish the betrayer, right? Alright. I shall prove to the world that I am great enough to take you in. I am interested in your noble phantasm, so I will follow your plan. You don't even know what his noble phantasm is, though. Caster raises her arm. The dagger to eliminate the contract pierces Archer's chest. Tosca makes a pained face. It must be the reaction of having her contract broken by force. But this isn't the time to be hesitating. This has become the worst possible situation. Tosca watches Caster and slowly retreats. Tosca's calm. She knows it'd be no good to fight them now. If she wants to keep on fighting, she has to retreat for the moment. But there are 6 meters between Tosca and the stairs. Is it possible for her to run that distance safely? Impossible. It's apparent, watching the scene from above. Kazuki, who has been silent up to now, is on guard against Tosca. If she turns and runs full speed, would she be able to reach the stairs and get to the exit before Kazuki catches up to her? Tosca sighs while looking at them. Her face. That's impossible. Seems to say so. she'll die. She'll be killed. If I try to help her, I will also die. The area below me is a land of death. There is a master called Kazuki along with 2 enemy servants. There's no way I'd get out of there alive. My throat is dry. My fingers are tense from nervousness. 0 or 1, even before I can think. Tosca moves. She starts for the stairs without any warning. Behind her, a tall, lean figure catches up to her so quickly that Tosca appears to be standing still. Kazuki's fist should hit her in the back of the head. He was able to hurt Saber through her armor. It should be easy for him to break a human skull. I can't save her. I can't save her by myself. I can't save her with this wooden sword. I'll die if I go out. 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 Don't help her. Help her. Oh my god, why is it giving us another choice here? Don't help her or help her. Well, obviously, option 2. I jump down. I don't even use the stairs. I've jumped down behind Tosca without even knowing it. But that's it. My wooden sword is destroyed by Kazuki's fist, going for Tosca's head. What? Everyone's astonished by the sudden intruder, except for one man, who reacts as though it's perfectly natural. He does not hesitate. It does not matter for this man who the enemy is. He has no emotion for the one who appeared. Death's scythe is thrust. There's no way to block it. I'll have my neck snapped like a flower. How pitiful. It's meaningless if I won't last even 2 seconds. I will not be able to do anything, not even save Tosca. No, I had a way from the start. I can prepare numerous things to block the attack. If I'm a Magus, what does the fighting is not my body, but something I make out of magic. Trace. On. Then make it. Success is a matter of course. Do not reconstruct it from the basic structure. Danger. Read its concept, the maker's thought, expectation, moral, faith, and the origin itself. Danger. That is why it is not reconstruction, but projection. It is an equal shadow cast by the true object. Danger. It does not matter how great the work is. If it has to be accomplished, there's no problem with recreating it. Overload. But there is another problem. Yes, the problem is the unit cannot keep up with the function. My body is burning. Every cell in me catches fire. My nerves let out agonizing cries. My retina cracks and dries, and my heartbeat disappears. I ignore my body's order to stop. The concept of creation, the basic structure, the composition material, the skill of its making, the experience of its growth, the accumulated years. I skip it all and make up Kancho and Bakuya. My whole body is burning. Using projection now means dying. Miyashiro's body cannot handle such magic. My head ignores it, and therefore, my body will die. But that cannot be a problem. No, it cannot be. I will die if I reproduce swords? Of course not. This body is a magic circuit specialized for this purpose alone. I have been saved by swords, and I have lived with swords. I do not know about others, but it is impossible for me to destroy myself by reproducing swords. I repel it. The same weapons are in my hands, and my enemy is the same. Kancho and Bakuya are in my hands. The reproduced noble phantasm of Archer has repelled Kazuki's fist once again. It stops right there. Kazuki must have figured out this would turn out like last time as he takes a step back. My lungs explode. The breath I've been holding escapes my mouth in a rush. I don't feel my left shoulder. My wound has completely opened up and the blood stains not only my bandage but my shirt as well. It's not damage brought on by using the projection magic. 2 attacks. I only repelled Kazuki's attack twice and my shoulder got destroyed. I bet my shoulder would have been dislocated with 1 more attack and my arm would have been ripped off. I can't show that. I ready my twin swords and protect Tosca's back. And Tosca is You idiot! Why are you here? She has stopped and is complaining to me. I'm relieved. My choice wasn't wrong. I'm glad her good-heartedness is still there. No, now's not the time. It's too early to tell if my choice was right or not. We have to get out of here alive. Sorry. Complain to me later, Tosuke. I'll listen once we get out of here, so let's take care of them first. Tosuke nods silently and readies herself behind me. I knew you were going to do something, but I did not think you would jump down. Kazuki is watching us, his fists ready to fight. He has no intention of letting us go. He's standing there so he doesn't let one of us go. If either one of us moves, he should react right away. Get! But I can't be taking my time. The wound on my shoulder is getting worse by the second. My concentration fades as more blood is lost. My body won't last long to start with. If we are to run, we should do so as fast as possible. But we can't run away that easily. Kazuki will react if I move. When that happens, Tosuke will be the first one to die. I have to defeat Kazuki to let Tosuke go, but I don't have the power to beat Kazuki, and he's not our only enemy. Behind Kazuki are Castor and the betrayer, Archer. No, in the worst case, Saber might also become our enemy. Was there no exit to begin with? There is no miracle that will let us escape from here. I want Tosuke to escape at the very least, but even that would require so much luck that it makes me sick. That's it. I was surprised by your intrusion, but the result does not change. Yes, it looks like you have given up. You came out, so you don't mind dying, right? I shall end it here. It would be troublesome to keep you alive, so... She's coming. I'll resist with all my powers. I ready my twin swords and stand in front of Tosuke. Released intent to kill, right before it reaches us. No, hold on, Castor. The knight in red stops the attack with an emotionless voice. Archer, I thought you would know that you have no right to say anything here. No, there is something I forgot to tell you. I want to give one condition for me to side with you. A condition? Yes, I gave you my freedom without resistance. As compensation, I would like for you to let them go. They are useless as masters now. There's no merit to killing them. His proposal sounds objective. Tosuke watches it intently. Let them go? Huh. You are more good-natured than you act. I was born as a human. It would leave a bad aftertaste if I kill my master right after I betray her. Oh, you are a traitor, but you say such a thing in front of the one you betrayed? Fine, I shall let them go this time, but I will kill them if they get in my way again, no matter who stops me. Is that fine, Archer? Of course. If they are stupid enough to continue fighting in this situation, they deserve to die. That must have concluded the negotiation. The intent to kill filling the temple goes away and the restraining enmity fades. So that's it. You two, I will let you go this time. Now, run like the dogs you are. I glare at Castor, but Tosuke pulls on my arm silently. Let's go. She's right. She whispers in my ear. I calm down and turn my back to the enemy. We don't run, but slowly make our way to the stairs. The distance that seemed so great is conveyed in just a few steps. A footstep. Tosuke takes a step onto the stairs and turns back to Castor. No, that's wrong. Tosuke did not look at Castor, but at the man smiling beside our enemy. It is wrong to curse me, Rin. It is just that this woman is a better master than you are. If the difference is clear, I will choose the stronger one. You're right. But you'll regret it. I will never give up. I'm going to defeat Castor and get you back. I won't forgive you even if you apologize to me at that time. That is just vain effort. Well, I will not stop you if you want to throw away your life. She turns away and starts to walk. She's biting her lip in anger. But she does not speed up, and Tosca leaves the underground temple in a magnificent manner. We get out of the church. We do not say anything. My wound hurts. The sweat on my forehead drips down to my eyes and my vision wavers. Even walking hurts my wound. It hurts every time I take a step and my strides are getting shorter. Emiya-kun? She turns back to me as I'm falling behind. Then, Tosca suddenly looks at me seriously. Let's rest for a bit. It should be hard for you even to walk. Huh? No, I'm fine. I can bear this. We need to get home as soon as possible. It doesn't matter, but we should get Tosca back to her home ground. Don't worry about my wound. It's not like there's poison in there. Yeah, but you are losing a lot of blood. I ignore Tosca's stare and keep walking. And you also don't have the Saber's healing powers anymore, so you can't really, heal your wounds. You're kind of fucked. How pitiful. My knees are about to give out right after I say so. See, you're pushing yourself too much. It's suicidal to fight against Kazuki with that wound of yours. Take a rest. They won't come after us. But what about Berserker? I'd assume so. But let's go home as quickly as possible. It's not that painful. Hey now, don't say it's not painful when you're bleeding so much. I don't know why you want to go home so bad, but we should rest for now, right? She scolds me. Oh, so she's not going back to par yet, huh? Her usual coolness isn't there. She's very emotional, so her anger will be unstoppable if the brakes give way. Are you listening to me? You're not like Kirei, so it's troubling to have you leave a trail of blood after you. I wonder what would happen if, just normal people passing them on the street saw this. Like, oh hey, that guy's leaving a trail of blood behind him. I think that's a little concerning. First of all, why did it end up like this? I know I told you to go to the church, but you couldn't tell it was dangerous couldn't you tell it was dangerous right away? Hey now, I was able to tell right away. I knew something bad was happening the moment I saw the church. I could sense it. I will eat you. You should have gone home right then, you idiot. Not only that, but you came in with that wound of yours and used projection again. It's natural for your wound to get worse, and you're saying it's not painful? Geez, what's wrong with you? Why would you push yourself so hard? Tosca roars out without stop. But, well, it really isn't that painful, and it's more painful for you, right? So let's go home. You can complain once you get home. That's why I wanted to go home as quickly as possible. She doesn't have to act that strong. Tosca can let everything out when she's back in her own room at home. What? She wipes her face like she's made a mistake and turns away. I can't think of anything to say. That was... I can't believe it. A guy made me cry. She murmurs while looking down. Then... Tosca! Your hand! You're holding my hand! Shut up. Take responsibility, you idiot. Oh. Hold on! My wound's hurting. Don't pull on my left hand! It's the foreigner's cemetery. Tosca walks over to the grassy area and finally lets go of my hand. Hey, Tosca. We don't have time to be playing around. Sit down. Just sit down for now. She does not let me object, so I sit down. And turn your back to me. Don't turn this way, okay? I'll get really angry if you look at my face. I hear a sound behind me. We sit down on the grass with our backs to each other. I don't get why she's doing this. Tosca is silent as she told me not to turn around. I don't have anything to do, so I look up at the sky. I gasp at how big it is. Is it because I've been underground so long, or is it because the sky is clear tonight? Anyways, the winter night sky is so beautiful that it makes me forget about my wound. The warmth of Tosca's body on my back doesn't bother me either. I look up at the black sky, forgetting about everything for now. How long have we been sitting like this? The silent girl starts to talk in a calm voice. I'm just talking to myself. I see. I can't reply if she's just talking to herself. I'll keep staring at the night sky. I might have made a mistake. I should have done what Archer said and beaten Castor without caring about how I did it. I was trying to find an opening because I was worried about small sacrifices, but it turns out that everybody in this town might be sacrificed now. She keeps talking. She's probably whining. She's not saying so because I told her. In short, Tosca doesn't want to contemplate her actions by herself. She wants someone else to make her do it. I'm not complaining, but I keep on screwing up when it counts the most. I can handle the second and third most important things with ease, but I always have a problem with the single most important one. The winter sky is clear, but in contrast, the air is really cold. I don't care about myself, but isn't Tosca cold without her coat? I'm worried about that. It's not Archer's fault alone that he went to their side. It's my fault for letting Castor be. But yeah, it really gets to me. I was talking to him earlier, but I'm cornered already. She sighs. I can't see it, but I bet her breath is white. Hey now, I think this is where you make a comment. No, I'm just gonna stay silent over here, look up at the sky. Oh, so what were you cornered by, Tosca? It's about never regretting your own actions. He said I'm not the type to regret my actions, but it seems now's the critical moment. I'm even more depressed that I've made a mistake. I see. I don't understand her too well, but Archer's right. Tosca isn't the type to regret her actions. That's just now, right? It's irritating, but I agree with Archer. There's nothing for you to regret. Why? Castor is doing whatever she wants, and even Archer lost faith in me. This is because my policy was a mistake, right? It's just that you were unsuccessful. You haven't made a mistake. If you haven't made a mistake, you can be proud of yourself even if you were unsuccessful. The process. If you walk down the path that you believe is right, you cannot be wrong. At a time like this, most people will realize that their path is a wrong one, but she's different. Her path should always be the one that she can be proud of. Yeah, to be honest, you've always shined. I won't regret my actions either. I believe what I've done is right, but it's full of stitches. I don't want to regret anything. I want to make all the tragedies that happened into meaningful things by believing that my path is right. But you're different. You're the type that will regret something, then go back and retaliate. I'm deceiving myself with all the patchwork, but you go and completely destroy it with a straight face. You're breaking even. You only get depressed once in a while, but what comes after is scary in your case. I think you will go to the one that got you depressed and get them to be even more depressed. What is that? Are you trying to finish me off? Yeah, I thought I'd strike you while your guard was down. Well, isn't that true? I'm sure you don't intend to give up now. I look up at the night sky and say so as if talking to myself. Tosca doesn't answer, but I think that she smiled, getting herself together. And silence follows. Tosca must have said everything she wanted to as she stops talking. I aimlessly look up at the night sky. We should be going home, but neither of us can stand up to break the moment, so we just keep our backs to each other. Oh yeah, why did you come help me, Shiro? I can't explain. There are many reasons. I think it'd be stupid to explain each one, so I say something I have to tell her. You remember this pendant, right? I show her the pendant. I thought so. I bet she intended to keep this a secret, but she made a mistake again. Hey, where did you get that? I found it in your room. Oh, you might get surprised when you get home, but I'm sorry. I tripped over your I tipped over your dresser. God damn it, spelling errors. I tripped over your dresser. I return her the pendant behind my back. Huh. So what about it? Well, I have the exact same pendant at my house. I picked it up when I found it after being killed by Lancer. But I didn't die when I was killed. I casually hint about that night. Then, there's an identical one? Tosca gasps as if she's heard something she shouldn't have. Huh? Did I say something strange? No, it's nothing. But why would that be a reason to come help me? That pendant means nothing, right? Right. It's just a reason I made up afterwards. To confess, I've been admiring Tosca Rin for a long time. And this is a problem, but I got to like you even more after I talked to you, so I didn't want you to die. I jumped down even before I realized it. Hey now! Don't say it so directly. You'll create misunderstandings if you talk without thinking. I won't create misunderstandings. I really do like you. I obstinately reply at once. It's not a lie, so there's no misunderstanding to be made. You idiot! That's why you jumped in suicidally, you big idiot! Tosca keeps on calling me an idiot. She's criticizing mercilessly, but I strangely don't feel bad. The night sky is beautiful, and I feel calm. And I'm just really happy that Tosca's back to normal. Alright. Let's go home like you said. Here, give me your hand. It should be hard for you to stand up with that wound of yours. I grab her hand with my right. Tosca pulls me up. Then we don't owe each other anything now. Let's not count today's incident. That would really help me out. I don't know what the pendant meant to Tosca. I bet I would have felt more guilty towards Tosca if I found out. Tosca didn't want that and said the incidents offset one another. So Tosca shouldn't feel bad about getting helped earlier. And we leave the foreigner's cemetery. And on the way. Thanks for helping me, Shiro. It really did help me out. Tosca adds with embarrassment. We walk down the hill. When we're going back to our home ground where it's safe, Tosca heads for my house and not her house, as if it's natural to do so. We're back at my place. I never thought I would make it back alive, so I relax once I get into the living room. Whoa. I feel a bit dizzy and lean against the wall. See? You can't even stand up, you idiot. She's right, but I think her last comment was unnecessary. What, she always calls you an idiot. How many times did she call me an idiot today? I bet she set a new record already. Well, that is the staple. That is like a common cliche, I guess, of the tsunderes. Come over here. We have to replace those bandages at the very least. I nod and move by Tosca. I can use this first aid kit, right? Oh, as expected from a house with a dojo. It's rare to see a first aid kit with needles and threads along with scissors. Hey, come on, take off your shirt and show me your wound. I like where this is going. I have to take my clothes off? Oh, no, I can do that myself. I treated myself this morning, so it shouldn't be a problem. Come on. I don't know why you're so reserved, but who do you think treated that wound in the first place? But that was, I was unconscious, and I was only causing trouble for Tosca at the time. Stop your whining and hurry up. Your wound is special, so we... God damn it. So we have to treat it right for it to heal up. How unfair. I can't complain if she tells me with a face like that. Okay, I'll leave it to you. To be honest, it's burning right now. I give up and sit down. Seeing that the shirt is stained with blood, Tosca gives up taking it off and starts cutting it right away. Then she quickly but carefully takes off the bandages. Is it that bad? Tosca gasps when she sees it. But I'm troubled as well. It's so embarrassing having her stare at my body so closely. You really did push yourself. It was healing up, but the wound opened up again. Jeez, I can't get mad at you if I see a wound like this. She talks like that, but gently touches the wound. Crap, I'm getting dizzy for a different reason. I was able to stay calm even if she was near me, but my heart's beating fast now and I'm having trouble determining where to look. Man. I criticize myself mentally, but it does no good. The temperature inside my head will keep increasing as long as we're like this, because the dizziness isn't caused by my wound. Tosca, it's fine now, right? Just use styptic and roll up the bandage. That's not called treating. I take it back. I'm angry. You went outside with a half job like this? A slapping sound. She just slapped him. Wow. What was that for? Hey, you're slapping an injured person. Tosca just slapped me on my wound. Wow, even worse. Do you have some grudge against me? Huh, you have no idea. You should thank me for going easy on you. Saying so, Tosca takes out something that looks like ointment. That hurts, right? I healed the dead nerve, so it should hurt for a while. There's painkiller in this ointment, but it's mainly to replace your flesh. It'll hurt until it familiarizes with your body, so don't do anything reckless until the pain goes away. She takes the jelly-like substance and applies it to my wound. It looks really suspicious, but I stay quiet since I know Tosca is seriously treating my wound. That's it. You should feel much better tomorrow if you wrap some bandages around it and get a good night's sleep. She skillfully wraps the bandages around my wound. I'm not praising her or anything, but she does a much better job than I do. Yeah, thanks, Tosca. I feel much better. I thank her while averting my gaze. Well, that's good. I'm glad I treated you if you say so. Yeah, it's even more helpful because I thought it wouldn't heal up. Thanks for treating the wound. That's only natural. It'll heal as long as I treat it. Finishing the treatment, Tosca gets up. Then, I don't know why, but she heads to the kitchen. Tosca, am I seeing things? She's checking what's inside the refrigerator and the rice cooker. Hey, what are you doing? I'm preparing dinner. You haven't eaten yet, right? I haven't eaten either, so we're going to eat dinner. Yeah, I can tell, but why cook dinner in this situation? Fate stay kitchen. It's raw! Everything is raw! You burnt everything. You are a terrible cook. Get out of my kitchen. It's natural, right? People can't come up with good ideas on an empty stomach. Tosca speaks while staring inside the refrigerator. The sound of our utensils echoes inside the room. It's past 10 o'clock. I don't know how it ended up like this, but Tosca and I are eating a late dinner together. By the way, the dinner was made by both of us. Tosca wanted to eat Japanese food, but she didn't even know how to make miso soup. Oh god. It really makes me wonder what they're teaching in the cooking class at school. Tosca is concentrating on her meal. We're gonna teach you how to make hamburgers like they make at McDonald's. Now here's some pink slime. She must be hungry, as her plate is almost empty. But I don't have much of an appetite right now. It's partly because this isn't the time to be eating, but more so because I haven't replied to Tosca. You can forfeit here, Shiro. I haven't told her my reply to those words. Tosuka, I have something to talk about. I put my chopsticks down and stare at Tosuka. Oh man, shit's getting real now. He put his chopsticks down. What? I've been thinking about my reason for joining this battle, and what I wanted to do. Yeah? And? She urges me to go on as she sips on the miso soup. She's putting my spirit down, but I try to get myself together. At first, it was because I was dragged into this, and I wanted to do something about this war. But it has nothing to do with how I became a master, or how I got dragged into this. I like superheroes. That's why. Every time he says that, it just cracks me up. That's why I have to protect everyone. I don't care about this master thing. It makes no difference that I'm not a. It makes no difference that I'm not a master or that I've lost Saber. I say so, ready for Tosuka's rebuttal. But. Oh, I see. She makes an absent-minded reply and finishes her rice. Hey now, Tosuka, I'm talking seriously, so... I am listening. You fight by yourself, right? The fact that people are dying bothers you more than the fact that you might die. That's why you decided to fight, no matter how weak you are. She looks straight at me. It's as if she sees through the part of me that I don't even know about, and most of all, she proves that I'm fighting. Oh, yeah, that's right. What's with that face? You look like a squirrel that has licked sugar. That's a weird comparison. Well, I thought that you would object. I am, but I can't complain when you've saved me like that. And I understand that you're like that no matter how much I try to stop you. Tosuka averts her gaze a bit. I don't know why, but... Then we're still cooperating? Yeah, I can't help it, so I'll go along with you. First of all, I'll be so worried that I won't be able to sleep soundly if I let you be by yourself, and... She takes a huge breath. After getting ready for some reason. To put it in your words, I don't hate you, Shiro. Never seen that sprite before. So it's fine if we stay together, right? She hands me the bowl. Is that a cat face on that bowl? What the fuck? How long did it take me to realize that she's asking for seconds? Oh, of course. I don't care how much of a tyrant you are. Oh shit. I take the bowl, fill it from the rice cooker, and hand it back to her. Fine. I'm hungry and the food's good. Sure, if you cooked it, it wouldn't be. Tosuka starts eating the heap of rice. I smile. I bet I'm smiling as I eat, but I can't help it. I'm so happy right now, so let me smile like a fool for a while. Well, now we're drinking tea after dinner. So, projection has its limitations. We just need a whiteboard in here so Tosuka can illustrate all her points for us like a professor. Every time she has that pose, it just makes me think she's some kind of professor. Its power seems unlimited since it makes your imagination real, but projection has its own set of rules. The simplest is about the projected object's durability, the strength of its existence. Tosuka puts up a finger as she drinks her tea. Strength of existence? What, you mean its flimsiness and being unable to bear the existence of the illusion? I sip the tea and tilt my head in wonder. You seem like you don't know anything, but you know some interesting terms. Well, you're not right, but not wrong. You're just somewhere in the middle, even though that's not really a thing. Projection uses your mental image to completely reproduce the genuine object. There's no exception to this. You can't project it if it's not perfect inside of you, as it is a shadow of the true object. The projection magic requires that there be no mistake. So, basically, the projected object has the strength as you imagine it. An illusion is perfect in this regard. The closer the knowledge and the image are to the true object, the more perfect the projected object is in real life. Wait, that's strange. I projected Archer's swords, but Kazuki destroyed them. I know casters strengthen Kazuki's fists, but they aren't strong enough to destroy a noble phantasm. Doesn't that mean the Kancho and Bakuya I projected are inferior to the originals? Yes, you realized a very good point, Emiya-kun. That's the limit of projection, the strength of the object's existence. Projection is just projection. It's not creation. What makes the projection is the image in the creator's mind. So when a flaw is created in the image, the projected object vanishes even if it has the same ability as the original. When a flaw is created in the image, isn't that also strange? You can't project it if the image is incorrect, right? Right, so the flaw would be created after it is projected. Let's see. Let's say you project a sword that will not break. I nod. Tosuke nods in satisfaction. But a sword that will not break doesn't exist. It's just that the sword is famed or called unbreakable, so it can't break if it comes across an illusion greater than itself. Doesn't it mean my image was wrong once it breaks? I made a sword that won't break, right? That's wrong. It's perfect the moment you project it. First of all, a sword that will not break is just a name. There isn't an actual sword that won't break. But what you imagined is a sword that won't break, right? If this sword breaks in real life, what is projected becomes a lie. This isn't because the sword broke. What you imagined is a sword that will not break. So when it breaks, the sword that broke and the sword that will not break in your imagination becomes two separate things. It's because the scales between you and reality tip. So, if I sum it up... Alright. So, I imagined a sword that would not break and projected it, but the projected sword broke during battle. When that happened, I denied the sword, saying, "Hey, this sword broke." As a result, the projected sword disappeared. And that's because there was an inconsistency between reality and the image, right? You're pretty right. Yes, you're right. You projected Archer's swords. I don't know how you ranked Archer's swords, but you did not imagine swords that would break from Kazuki's attacks. But the swords were destroyed. At that time, you thought, these aren't Archer's swords. The projected swords were denied by the maker, so they lost their strength of existence and became fantasy once again. I see. Even projected weapons can break. But it's not the enemy, but you, who make them disappear from this world. When the difference between the reality and the image becomes too large to be reconciled, the projected weapon disappears. It is because the one who projected the weapon stops believing in the image. Do you get it now? So projection starts from the blueprint. You should consider material, properties, and even its history. If you have those down, I think the projected object will disappear right away even if it's a bit different. Huh? Wouldn't you start from how it was considered to be made? Materials and techniques aren't enough. Let's take today's dinner as an example. It started when you said you wanted to eat Japanese food, right? So I have to start from the very beginning of the creation. Oh, don't compare this to food. Oh. Tosuke's stunned. Hey, you know something I don't know, you motherfucker. Tosuke stares at me. I drink tea and tilt my head in wonder. I'm just like imagining that right now, like Chiyo's just like kind of pretentiously drinking his tea while like staring at Tosuke in satisfaction that he like knows something better than she does. Hey, how did we start talking about this in the first place? You're right. I thought we were talking about what our future course of action should be. Oh yeah, we were talking about what our course of action should be. Shiro, do you want to seriously practice projection magic? When Tosuke derailed the conversation. I remember now. You were so stumped that we started placing hope on uncertain factors. Yeah. First of all I can manage to project are swords. That hasn't helped me too much, so it's probably not much use. Oh, she's looking at me with those eyes again. I wonder why. She always makes that face when we talk about projection magic. Oh well, let's confirm our current situation. For now, our enemy is Caster. She isn't too bad by herself, but we can't do anything as long as she's protected by Kazuki and Archer. Plus, it's only a matter of time before Saber is controlled. The situation is getting worse by the second. Yeah, but Saber isn't under Castor's complete control. That gives us a chance of victory. There's no chance of victory once Saber gives in. I can't let that happen. She told me to run. She told me as she cried, so for Saber's sake, I can't let Castor do as she wishes. That's right. So, raise your hand if you have an idea. Shiro, do you have any good ideas? Raise his hand. An idea that will break the current deadlock. If there is a way to oppose Castor, it is... Oh, fuck. What the hell? Why do we have to make your fucking decisions for you, Shiro? I don't have any plans. We'll just fight them head on. No. That is a bad idea. That is very bad. We can't fight them head on. Is there a secret passage in the church? We can't do this by ourselves. We'll cooperate with other masters. I remember, like, the next episode in the anime, they were going to go to Eliasfield's castle, I guess, to try and cooperate with her, maybe? Fighting them head on is a bad idea. Saying we can't fight them head on and looking for a secret passage isn't any better because you're still not... You still don't have any servants and you're still pretty much fucked. I think we might as well go with this option or the third option, cooperate with other masters. Because, you know, you're pretty much trying to eliminate the it's kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, I guess we can see what happens if we choose this. Let's go with this. They aren't opponents that we can take on by ourselves. Exactly. There are 3 enemies. Then we'll need at least 1 more on our side. Then there are limited possibilities. People who are Magi have a reason to fight against Castor. It'll be other masters. Tosca, don't get mad and hear me out. Do you think it's feasible to cooperate with other masters? Yeah, I mean, that's what happened in Fate Zero. They all cooperated to fight Castor. Alright, why do you say so? You must have a plan. Well, that's not the case, but Castor isn't someone other masters can just ignore, right? So I thought we might be able to cooperate just to beat Castor. Yes, I was actually thinking of the same thing. I didn't say it because I thought you'd object. She says so unenthusiastically. She must not like the idea, but she knows that that's the only option we have. Well, there are 2 remaining masters now, Lancer's Master and Berserker's Master. There's no way to negotiate with Lancer's Master because his identity is unknown, but we might have a chance with Berserker's Master, Eliasfield. Okay, that's what I thought. Berserker's Master. The white girl and the statue-like giant I met on the night when it all began. She sounded dangerous, but I don't think she's cruel. Yeah, I think she would at least listen to us. I don't think she'll ask for much in return, either. You idiot. She's the most dangerous for you. She was only looking at you, Shiro. I don't know what she'll do to you. What do you mean? I've only met her once, so that can't be possible. Quit scaring me like that, Tosca. Well, if only you knew what happened in one of the bad ends of the Fate route, Shiro. Huh. We'll stop the negotiation right then if that does happen. Then, Tosca averts her gaze and gulps down her tea. But we can only bet on Eliasfield for now. If Archer is right about Castor's identity, Berserker would be her natural enemy. They knew each other when they were alive, so he should know about Castor's tricks. Berserker can handle Castor and Archer by himself. We can take care of Kazuki while he does so. That's an optimistic thought, but does Berserker really know Castor? Yes, Archer told me that Berserker's true identity is Heracles. If Castor really is that witch, Berserker might know her through the Argo expedition. It's just like how I don't get along with Kirei. Everyone has a natural enemy. Okay, but I'm sure everyone would dislike that priest. Then it's decided. But how should we find her? She hasn't appeared since that night. We should be able to find her because of her large magical energy, right? But we can't find her in spite of that, so doesn't that mean she's not in this town? I'd assume not. Eliasfield must be having fun watching the Holy Grail War from a faraway place. Faraway place. Is she keeping watch over the town like how Castor was doing at the Ryudo Temple? I don't know, but I have an idea of where she might be. I heard from my dad that the Einsburn family has a villa in the forest on the outskirts of town. She says so with a tense voice. A villa inside the forest. Tosca's expression tells me how dangerous the place is. I go back to my room and lie down. Drowsiness fills my body as soon as I do. I stare at the dark ceiling. We are going to Iliasfield's hideout tomorrow. No matter what kind of negotiations take place, it's obvious that we'll need energy. Tosca said we wouldn't get good results with tired bodies, so we decided to head out after we sleep. It's 5 hours until dawn. We have to go talk to her after that. The young master that appeared on the night I became a master. If Saber is a servant excellent in all aspects, Berserker is a servant specialized in battle. There is no servant that can match Berserker in simple combat. How can I talk to such monsters? Saying it makes me believe it's impossible to negotiate with them. But strangely, I don't feel any uneasiness. I think Ilya will understand if we talk to her. Just like Tosca, she will classify enemy and ally as a Magus. But I think she's a proper girl with all that aside. Man, what wishful thinking when I haven't even talked with her yet. I bet he would scorn me, saying that it's a convenient fantasy. But what's wrong with believing? Is it wrong to have hope for someone you haven't met yet? I realize that I'm gritting my teeth. The man who told me to drown in my ideals and die betrayed Tosca in front of me. A guy with that much trust and power switched his allegiance so easily. Archer. My mind darkens. No, it's freezing. My head cools down thinking about what he did. I'm angry. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosca. I can't forgive the fact that he cast away his partner. I will swear here. Even if that may have been the very best action, and even if it turns out that it was the right choice to survive, I will never do something like that. His actions have been getting on my nerves. He told me not to talk about ideals. I opposed him when he told me I cannot save everybody. But I agreed with his words somewhere inside of me. His words are correct. The superhero my father talked about is just a fantasy. And I accepted the fact that I would have to become like him to get as close to the ideal as possible. Not wanting to do so, I openly denied the idea even though I accepted it in my mind. But this isn't on such a level. I can't approve of him. I can't approve of his action no matter what the circumstances may be. I won't be able to keep standing if I approve of him. That's why I can't lose to you. My words do not disperse into the darkness, but stay in the room. A few hours until dawn. I keep repeating those words even in my sleep.